Welcome to Cosmic Diaries. This is Priya Kale, and here's your astrology for the Aquarius new moon. So, welcome to the Aquarius new moon and happy Lunar New Year. We're in a brand new cycle and it's bursting with opportunities. Wherever you have Aquarius in your chart now, pay attention because there are second chances, there's new opportunities, doors opening, and you have a chance to breathe new life into something. Aquarius is a fixed air sign, and it is the sign that represents innovation, revolution. It's a very revolutionary sign, innovative sign. It can also bring a sense of, it also represents liberation and freedom. It represents the collective and as well as the individual and how unique we are, each of us individually. And so that calls for self acceptance as well as being able to celebrate our differences. Aquarius is the sign of the collective, and that, of course, well, that extends not only to humanity, but the thread that binds all sentient beings, and the common denominator being consciousness. So, Aquarius represents an awakening. Aquarius energy is very much like a flash of lightning, it's electric. And it's like the flash of lightning on a dark, stormy night that will, for a second, illuminate the landscape. And similarly, there's a sense of now awakening to truths and suddenly seeing something in a new light. And on a spiritual level as well, Aquarius calls for awakening to that higher consciousness that's within you and that connects you to all sentient beings. So pay attention to where you have Aquarius in your chart. There's new opportunities arising, there's new ways of seeing things now. And of course, we are heading up into the first Saturn Uranus square on the 17th, followed by Mercury's direct station on the 20th. So this is a big week. And new moons will, of course, seed energy for at least 2 weeks at a time. So this new moon seeds the energy at least until the Virgo full moon on the 28th of February at the end of the month. And that's a passionate full moon. Venus will be square Mars at the time, so there's juicy opportunities arising even then. But pay attention to the seeds you're planting now, because a new moon is a new cycle and it's a time for planting seeds. And specifically this new moon cycle, as we head into this first Saturn Uranus square, at the time the sun will be at 29 degrees of Aquarius. And I've mentioned this before in another one of my videos, but by the time of the final Saturn Uranus square, Jupiter will be at 29 degrees of Aquarius for the second time. So the seeds you're planting now and what you're setting into motion now is triggering a chain of events that will snowball into something much larger with the fullness of time by the end of the year. So it's important now that you're not feeding drama, or you're clearing space for something new to invite in new opportunities and consciously leaving the past behind. And this does not necessarily mean any person or situation in particular, but more so that it's something within you now. You learning to move past your own patterns, and then automatically your external life will reflect those inner shifts that are taking place. So wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, there's a sense Aquarius is it's a sign of the collective, but Aquarius energy asks for a lot of detachment, self-acceptance, and as much as it shows us how we are connected to others, it also shows us how we are different from others. And so there's that need for self-acceptance. And where you have Aquarius, there can often be that feeling in that area of your life. There can often be a feeling of, feeling alien or feeling if not isolated, then in some sense, perhaps, not fully belonging somewhere, or wondering where you belong or where you fit into the grand scheme of things. And now, with this stellium of planets that we have, all my notes, in Aquarius, it's like there's all of this energy. So, even the things that perhaps, ordinarily you could sweep under the rug or sweep under the carpet, now you can't ignore. And but again, there's at the time of this new moon, Venus was conjunct Jupiter. These are the two benefics in astrology, and this is very auspicious. This is very benevolent energy, and it is benefic energy. It holds tangible gifts for you, but it also begins with your ability to be grateful for all your blessings and what you've been given. And even the situations that, perhaps that you would like to change or you would like to be different, be grateful for the lessons that they have taught you. Then you can actually release them and turn a corner. Another quick thing, I'm not going to do a very long video, but another quick thing to remember would be, or rather that would be helpful, would be to look back to what was unfolding around 99 and 2000. And then before that, in about 76 and 77, if you're old enough to remember. Because those were the last time Saturn was square Uranus. And this has been an ongoing shift. So you'll find a common thread in your life if you start to observe events. And more importantly, of course, it would help to observe your journey and how you've grown and how far you've come since then, and where you would like to go next. The other thing with Aquarius energy is it's very innovative, but it breaks boundaries and it takes us into new territory. So whatever's unfolding now, there is a sense of, not a sense, but we're being drawn into new territory. And it will require us to, with Aquarius and with the truth, if you want to know the truth, and Aquarius really is awakening to that truth, you have to let go of all beliefs, because the ultimate truth is beyond all belief. And if you think of a belief, really, a belief by its very nature implies that you don't know something for sure. And so there is a belief. Because and even knowledge, things you read in books, sure, we can all read something in books, but especially, well, Aquarius is very much a sign of social media and the internet, and we live in this age of the internet and social media. And it's, I see what's going on around me, and I'm sure you do too. But it could be very easy to get swept away in something that you read on social media without really knowing the facts. And then because it supports your beliefs, or then it triggers something that you believe, and then get into it, either online with someone else, or then, have it affect you emotionally. And so then there's the layers of self-acceptance, and as well as, not needing validation from others. But at the same time, being careful of what you believe and why you believe something. And unless you've experienced something to be true personally, then it would be best to be cautious with what you believe, or blindly believing anything, really. This new moon especially, it's about, an Aquarius energy, it's about your experiences now, because you're in such new territory that you can't go by what you've known or what you've once experienced to be true. There's a new world opening up, and not experienced to be true. What you've experienced to be true is true, but what perhaps you've believed to be true. But now there's a re-examination of that, And only in letting go of all beliefs can you really be open to and receptive to the truth. And with Aquarius, again, it's electric energy, so it's like a live wire. If you try to cling too hard to something, then, especially a belief, then there's a greater chance that you would be shocked if it's not true, or if something turns out to be not true or not as you imagined. So leave room now, because with this Saturn Uranus square that's coming up, and the day after, the Sun enters Pisces, and then we head to the Virgo full moon, which will be opposite the Sun in Pisces. And Venus is going to enter Pisces on the 25th. So, the energy is really buzzing and sparkling and magical and full of potential. But we have to be open enough to allow it to come in, and to not be stuck on the past, that we don't create space for something new to blossom and bloom and take seed. So, okay, last but not least, I would be remiss if I didn't say something about Valentine's Day, since we are heading into Valentine's Day weekend, which is on Sunday. So the moon will be in Aries on Sunday, and the moon is conjunct Chiron. Well, whatever is happening in honestly, every day is a day to share love and show your love. But especially on a day like this, whether you're single or in a relationship, remember, with Venus conjunct Jupiter at the time of this new moon and in this new moon cycle, gratitude is important for the people you've loved in the past. Whatever your experiences, for better or worse, they taught you something. And then being able to release them so you can live more fully in the present and connect with others more fully in the present. And also let go of expectations of others. If you love someone, then you love someone. Love doesn't need validation. That's ego. The ego needs validation. And the more we can find acceptance and love for ourselves, we can extend that outwards, and then, draw people into our world that appreciate you for who you are. And this is about learning to love the parts of yourselves that even you consider unlovable, or perhaps too alien or weird. It's loving all of yourself, or at least beginning with self-acceptance. And then if there are things about yourself that you want to improve, there's always room for improvement and growth. And then at best, we can, have relationships with others that give us space to grow. And we can give others the acceptance and freedom to be themselves and to grow. Because, human beings, we're not static creatures. So even if you've been with somebody for years, you're not the same person you were 10 years ago. So and neither is your partner. So it's important to allow each other that space to grow into the fullness of your potential and being, and into everything you were born to be. And then at best, we can have supportive connections. And with all this Aquarius energy, there's every reason to believe that you have all the support in the world for, a vision or whatever it is that you most desire. But it begins with you opening your heart and, starting with accepting yourself and your vision. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for now, but thank you for listening, and I hope you found this useful. And I wish you a very, very happy new moon. And I'll be back with you with more very soon. But of course, if you want a personal consultation, do email me at priya@cosmicdiaries.com. And I would love to work with you. But thanks for watching, and bye for now.